Hi everyone, welcome back to Living Inspired with Autism. Now I'm so glad you're here with me today because we are going to talk about something that I hear from almost every parent that I work with. Those hard days. You know the ones I'm talking about. Your child has like 3 meltdowns before breakfast. The school called about a behavior incident. Therapy was cancelled at the last minute and you spilled your coffee on your only clean shirt. And by 10 a.m., you're already thinking, this is going to be a hard day. But what if I told you there's actually no such thing as a hard day? Now stay with me on this one. I promise this isn't toxic positivity. This is about something much more powerful. So here's something that really shifted how I saw difficult moments in our autism journey. And really, this spilled over into life in general as well. A day just happens, right? Think about it like this. If a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, if a day happens and there's not a mind there to judge it, is it good or bad? The day itself is completely neutral. It's just a series of events. What makes it hard is the story we tell ourselves about those events. So let me give you an example from, I think it was last week. Max had what I would have previously called a really hard morning. He woke up moaning. He couldn't find his favorite ball, which led to a meltdown, which basically for us looks like nothing going right. You can't talk to him. He just moans louder. And this obviously made us late for school, which meant I was late for an important work call, which made me feel like I was just failing at everything. And of course, now I'm behind. My whole day is pretty much screwed. Now, the old me would have said, we're having a hard day, and this is just going to be one of those days. But here's what I've learned. It is just a story. The facts were Max couldn't find his ball. He got upset. We arrived at school 15 minutes late, and I was late for the phone call. That's it. Everything else, the meaning I was making about being a bad mom, about our day being ruined, about me being behind, about this being typical, that was all coming from my thoughts and not from the actual events. Now, I know what you must be thinking. Come on, like really, some days really are harder than others. My child was in crisis for 6 hours straight. Don't tell me that that wasn't hard. And you're right, some days require a lot more of us. Some days we face a lot more challenges and more decisions and a lot more emotional labor. But here's the key distinction. What makes something feel hard isn't the events themselves. It's how we think about our ability to handle those events. When we say, I'm having a hard day, what we're often really saying is, I don't think I'm strong enough for this, or this shouldn't be happening, or I can't handle this. But what if instead we thought, I'm having a day that's requiring me to be strong? Or this is a day where I get to show what I'm made of. So one of the exercises that I do with my clients all the time, and I want you to try it too, think about a recent day that you labeled as hard. Now just write down just the facts of what happened, not your interpretation, not your feelings about it, just what actually occurred. Maybe your facts look like your child had a meltdown at the grocery store, which means that you left the store without finishing your shopping and your child calmed down after about 20 minutes in the car. You went home, you ordered the groceries online, and your child played happily for the next 2 hours. Now, what made it feel hard? Everyone was staring and judging me. I should be able to handle this better. It shouldn't be happening. My child will never be able to go to the stores normally. I'm just barely keeping it together as a parent. Now, do you see the difference between the two? The events were challenging, yes, but the suffering came from our thoughts about the events. I had a client recently who told me, I had such a hard day yesterday. I just wanted to drink a whole bottle of wine and eat everything in the fridge. And I know exactly what that feels like. And when we dug deeper, her hard day included her son having a difficulty with transition. She had quite a challenging IEP meeting, or what she thought was a challenging IEP meeting, and her husband was working late. But here's what I asked her. What if you told me the story of how amazing your day was yesterday? And of course she looked at me like I was crazy. But then we found it. Her son eventually transitioned successfully when she used his visual schedules. Now for me that looks like, telling Max exactly what's going to be happening. The IEP team listened to her concerns and they actually agreed to try new accommodations, which is a win. She advocated powerfully for her child at the meeting. She handled everything that came up. She kept her family fed and safe, and she was an amazing mom all day long. Same day, same events, completely different story. Now, here's where this gets really important for us parents. We face challenges that other families don't face. That is just a fact. But when we constantly label our days as hard, we are training our brains to look for evidence that we can't handle our lives. And let me tell you something, your child is always watching how you respond to challenges. They're learning from you how to think about difficult moments. When we say, today was so hard, in front of our kids, what are we teaching them? That their autism makes life hard? That they're a burden? That challenges are something to dread rather than opportunities to grow stronger? Instead, what if they heard us saying things like, today required a lot of strength and I showed up. We handled some big challenges today and we figured it out. I'm proud of how we worked through that together. Now, I'm not suggesting that we pretend challenges don't exist or that we put on a fake smile when we're struggling. This isn't about toxic positivity. This is about recognizing that we get to choose how we think about our challenges, and that choice determines everything, how we feel, how we show up, how resilient we become. Think about professional athletes, for example. Do you think an Olympic gymnast looks at their training and thinks, this is hard, I'm going to quit? Or do they think, this is challenging and it's hard work and it's going to make me stronger? The most successful people I know don't wish their challenges were easier. They become stronger so that they can handle bigger challenges. And here's what I want you to try this week. Catch yourself when you start to think, I'm having a hard day, or this is so hard. Instead, try these thoughts. This is requiring me to be strong, and I am strong. I can do hard things. This challenge is helping me grow. My child and I are both learning and growing. I've handled 100% of my challenging days so far, because this is the truth. You have handled 100% of your challenging days so far. You're here listening to this podcast. You've made it through every single difficult moment in your life up to this point. That's not an accident. That's evidence of your strength. Now, there was a time when Max was younger when I felt like every day was hard. I was constantly overwhelmed, constantly feeling like I wasn't enough, constantly waiting for things to get easier, constantly shouting at the poor little guy. But things didn't get easier. I got stronger. And that shift in perspective changed so much for us. When I stopped seeing challenges as evidence that something was wrong and started seeing them as opportunities to become the mom Max needed me to be, everything shifted. I stopped waiting for easy days and I started appreciating strong days. And you know what? Life got so much better. Not because it got easier, but because I got better at it. So here's my challenge for you. For the next week, ban the phrase hard day from your vocabulary. Instead, notice what's actually happening versus the story you're telling yourself about what's happening. Ask yourself, what would I need to believe about myself to handle this with grace? Remember that your child is learning from you how to think about challenges. Show them that challenges are just opportunities to be strong. And most importantly, remember that you are so much stronger than you give yourself credit for. The fact that you're here, listening to this, working on yourself and your family is evidence of incredible strength. You don't need easy days to have a beautiful life. You just need to remember how strong you are. Okay, my friend, thank you for joining me today on Living Inspired with Autism. And if this episode resonated with you, please share it with another parent who might need this reminder. Until next time, remember, there are no hard days, only days that require you to be strong. And you, my friend, are stronger than you know.